Welcome back on my channel, The Passionalist. In this video I talk about the many certifications and acronyms there are for the Italian wines. There are important certifications of origin that are a warranty for customers. Let's go and know them. The national certifications before and the European certifications later are introduced the certification of origin for the products to reduce the fakes and the similar sounding names and protect the customers. The certification in Europe is regulated from 2009 with two indications of area. The most important and strict is Protected Designation of Origin, P.D.O. or D.O.P. in Italy. The second is more generic, Protected Geographical Indication, P.G.I. or I.G.P. in Italy. Every certification is translated in each country and this generates different acronyms. This doesn't help the customer, but at least the logo is always the same. The number of products certificated is an indicator of product variability in a country and it indicates the complexity of territory, an important variable to discover the peculiarities. In Italy there are now 2021 526 different wines with an European certification. This means 526 different wines to try and discover. 408 are with a higher certification P.D.O. and 118 are with the P.G.I. The country is now the bigger producer of wine in the world. To have a benchmark, France, the second higher quantity producer, has about the 20% less certificated wines, for a total of 436 wines. A common question is on what the certifications regulate and which are the differences. There are some common parameters regulated from every certification, but with a different flexibility on rules. The common parameters are the maximum yield of grapes per hectare, the transformation yield of grapes in the wine, the minimum natural alcoholic proof, the alcoholic strength from consumption, the vines from which they can be obtained, and the correctives allowed. The certifications guarantee that the product is from a specific area and it follows the rules of a standard. This is a guarantee of a minimum quality, but there are no certifications that guarantee the maximum quality. It depends on winery and vineyard. To find it, we must investigate the history and the expertise of producers. In Italy, a wine without certification is denominated Vino da Tavola, literally table wine. A table wine could be a production done outside the area of origin or in a winery that didn't follow the rules of certification, also if the result is excellent. With the definition on Vino da Tavola, we can find the superb wines with many awards, or the worst wine in the country. The final evaluation is completely in charge of the customers. The first step of certification is the European certification P.G.I, Protected Geographical Indication. In Italy is I.G.P, Indicazione Geografica Protetta. This classification is a substitution of the old Italian I.G.T, Indicazione Geografica Tipica, Typical Geographical Indication. Sometimes we could find also the second acronym. They are essentially equivalent. With the I.G.P certification, we cover normally a relatively large geographical area. As a province, the I.G.P or I.G.T certifications have generic rules, but at least the 85% of grapes must be cultivated in the area and from authorized vineyards. The higher certification P.D.O. has a stricter regulation, with stricter rules and more controls for every step of production, also on the final results. Another difference from P.D.O. and P.G.I. is the size of the area considered, normally wide for the P.G.I. and reduced or very small for P.D.O. The rules and the controls are in charge of a consortium for each P.D.O. In Italy they are 122. In Italy in particular, the productions are so various and wide that there are other two sub-certifications inside the general P.D.O. D.O.C.G, Denominazione di Origine Controllata, the literal translation is Controlled Designation of Origin, and D.O.C.G, Designazione di Origine Controllata e Garantita, in English, Controlled and Guaranteed Designation of Origin. With this level of certification, 100% of grapes are from the certificated area. The D.O.C. and D.O.C.G. have similar rules and the entire production cycle is regulated, with controls in every step of the process and a final chemical, physical and organoleptic analysis. For the higher level of certification, DOCG, every rule is very tight. The maximum yield of grapes per hectare is further reduced, as well as the corrective practices allowed, and in general all controls are double. The DOCG area is normally tiny, sometimes it has the size of a village, but not all wines can have the DOCG. It can be requested after at least 7 years of DOC certification, and it is reserved for wines of particular value with high intrinsic qualitative characteristics. The wine must have acquired prestige and commercial value at national and international level. The law establishes that the product cannot be distributed in containers that exceed the maximum capacity of 6 liters. Each bottle must also be equipped with a label bearing an alphanumeric code that is issued by the state. This label is assigned to the bottlers and must be applied on every single bottle produced. Inside the certified areas, we can have smaller areas with specific peculiarities in terms of terrain and sun exposition. In this case, we can have near the name of the wine the name of the area. If the area is considered the core of the historical production, is indicated as Classico, classic in English. For this reason, we can find the Barolo D.O.C.G, the Barolo D.O.C.G Classico, and the Barolo D.O.C.G Albarella. We could also have a wine Riserva, Superiore, Vendemmia Tardiva, or Millesimato, but I want to talk about them in another video. Now we know which are the certifications in Italy and Europe. We know that with the certification I.G.T or I.G.P we can find a typical product. We know that D.O.C or better D.O.C.G are very defined wines with a high control of the product cycle. We must remember that if we want a real very good wine, we must know, with or without certification, the winery and its history. How many DOCs or DOCGs do you know? Which is your favorite? Write it in the comments, click the like below, subscribe my channel and follow me on Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. Follow your passion and keep in touch.